Therapy, Marriage and Family, Dr. Landreth, Chapter 16, Determining the Therapeutic Process and Termination. Trying to determine how much progress has been made. Assessing readiness for ending play therapy is dealt with very scarcely in the literature. Ongoing change and progress is more significant to the therapist than the child. Sometimes a result, an outcome growth of the therapist need to know than a prerequisite for the child. Wondering if we're making the right decision. Determining therapeutic movement within sessions, not always easily determined or observable in the context of the expressions in the playroom. Sometimes the same behaviors happen over and over, and families begin to wonder if any work is being accomplished. Very seldom do children make gigantic, insightful breakthroughs in play therapy, and if they do, they come far and few between. Their nonverbal behavior provides significant cues to understanding the totality of their way of behaving, functioning, and that's useful information to understand the therapeutic play therapy. Change comes in very small ways, and those things have to be looked for and validated. Having a discussion of change with the parents, look for the first time they've been able to sleep by themselves, the first time they've been able to go to school without crying, the first time they're able to play interactively and positively with another child. Look for dimensions. Dramatic first. Insight into the inner emotional dynamics of the child and the development of themes, changes in themes, expansion of safe areas, reduction of scary or aggressive areas. Termination seems final, but the door never has to be totally closed. We go out for a while. If necessary, the door is always open and we can come back. So a reference point for determining termination, that the relationship is not completely severed, it's not completely final. There's always a chance to come back as needed for short terms. Because the play therapist has no predetermined, individually tailored specific goals for children to meet, some questions on page 358 and 359 might be important. Is there less dependence? Less concern about other children? Can we see now the good and bad within ourselves? Changes in attitude toward time, awareness, interest, or acceptance. Changes to reactions to cleaning up the room, acceptance of self and own sex and gender. Evidences of insight and self-evaluation. Change in the quality and amount of verbalization. Less aggression toward or with the toys. Acceptance of limits more readily. Has the art themes and patterns changed? Less need to engage in developmentally regressed stages, less fantasy and symbolic play, more creative constructive play. The fears, have they been reduced? Less dependent, less confused, expressing needs openly, focusing on self, accepting responsibilities for own actions and feelings, limiting behavior appropriately, more inner-directed, more flexible, more tolerant, initiating activities with assurance, cooperative but not conforming, expressing anger appropriately, moving from negative sad affect to happy and pleased, more accepting of themselves, more able to play out story sequences with directions. Children will give general clues about their readiness to bring the relationship to a close. They may stand around, no longer as involved. So some of the procedures of the relationship: look for positive affirmation of self. A child to make a statement like, I don't think I need to come here as much anymore. Celebrating the time that was there. Reviewing and going back over the experiences. Celebrating gains. Smooth transitions. Time to work it out. Discussing the process of preparing for ending. Preparing parents for the fact, or the child for the fact, that some behaviors may regress temporarily. Some earlier behaviors may be seen, and always being able to come back if needed. Some children are very open with their relationship. Some children are very angry about the ending. Some people are very sad. Some people are very matter of fact. Dealing with it and giving the child time to make those adjustments, as well as the family, is important, and doing it in a gradual, safe way. End of that chapter.